Happy summer solstice, everybody. I was going to share uh, my book of shadows that I've had since 1998, but something just kept telling me don't open the book to the public. But that doesn't mean that I'm not going to share things that I have learned. I'm just not going to share everything that I've learned throughout my life, my family secrets. Some of those my son deserves to have and nobody else. And that will remain that way. And I'm glad that I've had time to reflect on this. Um, I originally started this career, I guess you would say, with a partner, and uh, that didn't work out, and I ended up going out on my own. So I do have some journals from when I partnered up with her, and I put the notes in these books. Some of them, some of the notes that I can open up and I can show you, and you can see some of the things that I have learned. And I have one for uh, magic, one for herbs, and one for dreams. And this one was the one for magic. And I made some notes out of my book on Midsummer, which is also called Litha, and it's also called, or Litha, however you want to pronounce it, Midsummer and Summer Solstice. And what Midsummer is the longest day of the year, and it's a fire festival. And you honor the sun and you honor fairies. It's a time of weddings. It's when love is in the air. It's also a time to honor the green man. It's the witch's day. It is a time when the veil is thin, so divination is a really big thing. And some of the activities are bonfires and doing fairy work, outdoor activities. Animals to honor are the bear because they mate during the solstice time, which is amazing to me. I love that. That the bears embrace the energy of the solstice. Butterflies and dragonflies. Herbs to use are chamomile, cinnamon, rose, rosemary, lavender. The colors are gold, greens, and blues. Different activities include drumming and hand fasting, tea parties, any kind of party, using seashells, making a sun wheel, mirror magic, shadow work, campfires, anything outside activities, using seashells in your magic work, having picnics, making teas and lemonade and using them as a magical concoction. Different things that you can make are fairy door, like we made today for our midsummer, making a fairy garden, sun catchers, making infused oils, having a sunset meditation is a really great way to celebrate. Bake honey cakes and give some to the fae because they love honey and they can't get it because of the bees. It's very hard, so they love a gift of honey. Building a birdhouse, pick flowers. Different crystals are anything that are orange, yellow, and gold. Moonstone, tiger's eyes, carnelian. The different trees that are correspondence are elder, oak, pine, and fir, and rowan. And then you could work with the fae, which is what I decided to do. And I had no idea. I left a journal page here in the book. I had no idea the fun that I was going to have by calling in the fairies, because I called them in a long time ago and I've done many enchantments with them. And even as a child, I've hung out with them. And I didn't even know there was a job of a fairyologist. Did you know that there was a fairyologist? I didn't, because I certainly would have gone for that when I turned 18. We made a fairy door, and a fairy door is a way to honor the fae or invite them into your home. I've also learned that many people are creating the fairy door that opens, and you can now put a tooth inside there and close it, and the child can wake up and open the door and find money there or whatever the fairy leaves them. That's something new that people are doing, and I love that idea. Other offerings for the fae are shiny trinkets, or flowers, or handwritten notes in a poem. Whatever you leave, make sure it comes from the heart. Something that I have known for many years from a book that I read that I'm going to be sharing in one of my videos is asking the fairies to come with you when you travel. You can ask them for protection or just ask them to ride along, and they love that. And I've done that since I read the book back in '98. I have recently learned that a lot of times the fae can be uh, already living on the land, and that's how you acquire them, or they may be through magical endeavors or through a family lineage, which I had no idea. So I have no idea how the fae came to me, but they have been with me for years, and I'm pretty sure I added a couple during this time making the fairy door. Ways that you could tell if you've got fae in the home is your pets act strange and they look at for something that you don't see anything there. Will tell you if there's a fairy in the home. Strange noises at night, doors opening and closing, missing objects that appear in another strange place. I've had that happen a lot. They actually have not wound up in a strange place, but they wound up in the place that I originally looked for them and they weren't there. And then all of a sudden they were there again. It is noted that the Fae can come through a bloodline through your ancestors. And I almost feel like that has happened to me because as long as I can look back, I remember having the Fae with me. If you want to leave an offering for the Fae for part of your midsummer celebration, they love fairy bread, cakes, and cupcakes, any sweets or cream. And like I said earlier, honey is a big deal to them. And I usually leave some cream and some honey on my altar for them during the solstices. If you want to have a fairy, set up a special place for the fairies, like a shelf in the pantry or the linen closet or a fairy garden. Keep them somewhere private and away from prying eyes. They dislike loud bells and loud, disobedient children. Christian propaganda, iron, they do not like iron. Liars or fake people, and they don't like stale air, so always try to have a breeze going through the house. They like whimsy and houses that are joyful and happy, and I would say that mine's pretty whimsy. They don't like people who disrespect nature or the gods, and they don't like to be insulted. They're not crazy about the clergy, and they don't like people trying to catch them. Things they do like: plants, trees, and flowers, shrines to the gods, clean wine cellars or clean areas. They're very big on clean areas. They don't like clutter. Extra cabinet space for them to hide in. Fairy altars and offerings, sweet, imaginative children or people, believers, shiny things, water from a fountain or a bowl, and music. Another way to attract them is a fairy star, which I had no clue about until I watched last month's episode of Alwyn Oak. And I truly appreciate her. And I went and printed up a fairy star, and it is a way to draw them to your home. And when I did it, my son printed it out for me. And when he went and pressed print, his laptop went poof and it completely went dead. And it did print out the fairy star, and he did eventually get his laptop to work again. And that's when a lot of shenanigans happened around the house since we did that. You can call on the Fae. Why would you call them into your home? Well, you can call them in to help you with any magical enchantment, for any creative help. I call them in to help me with my art all the time. Anything beauty, because the Fae are beautiful beings and they will assist you with anything in beauty or weight loss. For addiction, they have helped me through my addiction for the last 8 years. They have been extremely helpful for me. And the one thing I will say is a lot of people will talk a warning of calling on the Fae or working with the Fae. Now, there are shenanigans, and I've noticed it since I made the fairy star. Uh, my son came in the day after that happened when we printed out the fairy star and asked me if I had been in the bathroom. And I said, no, why? And he said he hadn't been, but he heard a buzzing and he went in there and he found his beard trimmer turned on, laying in the sink. And I know that was the Fae, because it certainly wasn't my cats, because they're too damn lazy. And my son wouldn't make that shit up, because he was really freaked out. We've also had some mishaps. I had one of my very favorite cups that I wouldn't even use for coffee that was given to me as a gift from somebody very special to me. It broke. It fell and the handle broke off of it. So there are things that are going to happen, but I've had nothing dangerously bad, just some things that made me a little sad. And that I feel bad about, but I'm still using it no matter what, because that cup means a lot to me. And I purposely didn't use it as a coffee cup because I didn't want anything to happen to it. So I'm not sure if I insulted one of them while I was preparing my videos for Midsummer. This Sabbath, I used the fairy star while I was preparing my money bowl. Now, the money bowl is the exact same bowl that I had for the last Sabbath, and because there's so much involved in it, what I did is I just redid the money bowl. I kept the rice, I mixed up everything that was in it, and then I added new herbs and some orange and a new spell with the money bowl. And I'm not going to share that because it's basically the same thing as I had last month. I'd like to take a second now and just tell you if there's any products that you're looking for or tarot readings, you can find my Etsy shop at an old friend studio on Etsy, or you can contact me through Facebook or TikTok if you want a reading, and my name is An Old Friend. Now, I showed my old journals, and that was through my partner and I when we had a business together. She is still selling them on Amazon with my artwork on them without my permission, and I have had to go through legal means to have this removed. And as much as I don't want to, she's left me no other choice, and she refuses to give me any information on what's been sold or what she wants for her share. I have waited 6 months and I have talked to a lawyer, and I have to take that route, which I don't want to. But I think 6 months is a long enough time to wait. And so if you want to support me, please support me through my business or through me directly. But I have no affiliation with her anymore. And I received really positive news from the lawyer but I don't know how long it's going to take to have this stuff removed. And honestly, it's not about the money. I could care less about that. I just don't want to be affiliated with her, and I would like anything that is mine to be removed from any kind of connection, mostly spiritual connection. I don't want to be a part of that. If you enjoyed this video and you learned something and would like to learn more of what I know, please like and subscribe. It costs nothing and it really helps me out.